Yes, Madam Chair. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you all. Please note that this meeting is being recorded. I'd first like to welcome my fellow board members. Good evening.
Good evening.
Selectman Serino will be unable to attend tonight. He had a previous engagement. I want to welcome our town manager, Mr. Scott Crabtree, and Meredith, our clerk, ladies and gentlemen in the audience, and those watching at home. Our first piece of correspondence this evening is Miss Nancy Sandruder, 28 Mill Road, Wilmington, Mass., requesting permission to display a banner for the Hammersmith Quilters Guild on Main Street. Is Nancy here? Seeing that she's not here, we do have her application. And with all banners, it's 30 days. So we can go October 11th through November 10th of 2025, and she is requesting the location of Main Street and Vine Street. Do I hear motions?
I'll offer that motion, Madam Chairman.
Thank you, Selectman Cogliano, and that's seconded by the chair. Is there further discussion?
Madam Chair,
Selectman Ciccolini.
just like to add in there that we'd waive the bond requirement.
Okay. Further discussion? Seeing none. All those in favor of Selectman Cogliano's motion with the change by Selectman Ciccolini, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries 4-0. The next item on the agenda is John Benoit, 11 Charles Street, Saugus, Mass., requesting permission to hold a parade for the Little League. Is John Hi. Would you like to come to the podium?
Hi, everybody.
Hi,
John
doing,
Benoit, 11
Hi.
Charles Street, Saugus. President of Saugus Little League, and here in front of you guys today to request permission to have the parade this year, actually starting from Belmonte School to parade over to Grabowski Field on Hurd Ave. This would be the second annual joined parade between softball and baseball. I've already been in contact with the president of the softball organization, and yeah, happy to answer any questions about the route. That is new to this year. I mean, Saugus American, Saugus National have always had different routes. We think this is a pretty straightforward one, not too long for the kids. I think the only other sort of special thing we're also trying to rope in this year is Guy Moley. We've been in touch with him. He's also looking to put about 20 show cars into the parade, just to make it more of a spectacle for the kids and everything else. But we'd be in touch with the fire department, the police department to coordinate logistics and everything else.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. I want to thank you for your volunteerism and for all of the coaches and everybody else. I know it takes a village sometimes to pull off what you do, and we truly appreciate it. So the time gathering is 8:30 a.m. The parade kickoff is 9 o'clock a.m., and the route is the Belmonte School parking lot, exit towards Adams Ave, turn left onto Adams Ave, then turn right onto Central Street, and then a final left on Hurd Avenue, ending at the Vets Memorial School. Is that correct?
That's correct, yep.
And we did get, we heard back from the police, they did not have an issue with the route change.
Excellent.
Does anybody have any questions this evening? Seeing none, do I
Madam
hear a
Chair.
motion?
Madam Chair,
Selectman Ciccolini.
I'll make a motion that we grant the request of Mr. John Benoit, the president of the Little League, for the parade permit to be held on April 12th with the start time of 9 a.m. kickoff for the route aforementioned. And that's it.
Can I actually make one more request just in terms of the permit fee? Can we?
I'm sorry, we're in the middle of a motion.
Oh,
yeah,
sorry,
once-
my bad.
once-
Yep.
And that is seconded by the chair.
Madam Chair, I'd like to...
Is your, go ahead, John.
I'd like to have...
Yeah, I was just going to make the request of the Board of Selectmen to waive the permit fee for the parade.
Yes, I think we've done that in the past.
Yes.
Yes, we'll waive the permit fee. Yep.
Excellent, thanks.
Okay, and it was seconded by the chair. Was there further discussion? Seeing none. All those in favor of Selectman Ciccolini's motion, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 4-0. And we will see you there at the parade.
See you there at the parade. Thanks so
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you. The third piece of correspondence this evening is the surrender of wine and malt beverages, license number 0065, RE-1078, 1268 Broadway, Saugus, Mass. 01906, Eastern Partners, Inc., doing businesses out of Asia. As many of you know, the town has been working to try to get back licenses that are considered assets to the restaurant owners. And if a restaurant closes, that license does not automatically come back to the town. We have to send out letters and we have to be proactive to get those to be returned, because many times a lot of the people that own these licenses would like to sell them. So we did receive a letter from Nelson Chang's office. It says, please be advised that I represent Wee Bonzi, manager and principal of Eastern Partners, Inc., doing businesses out of Asia. Mr. Bonzi is currently out of the country, but has come to our attention that the wine and malt beverage license that he held at the former restaurant appears to still be outstanding. It is his memory and his belief that at the time he closed his restaurant that he returned the license to the town. Apparently that has not been reflected on the record. On behalf of the Eastern Partners, Inc., doing business out of Asia, Wee Bonzi, manager, please be advised that the said license is hereby formally surrendered to the town of Saugus. A photocopy of what is apparently the current license is attached. Thank you for your cooperation. Very truly yours, Nelson C. Chang. With that said, would somebody please make a motion to accept this license being returned to the town?
I'll offer that, Madam Chairman.
Thank you, Selectman Cogliano, and that is seconded by the chair. Is there further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor of Selectman Cogliano's motion, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries 4-0. Thank you very much. The next item on the agenda is citizens' comments. Is there any resident in the audience who would like to address the board? Seeing none, we're going to move on to public hearings. We have 4 public hearings this evening. The first, 7:05 p.m., notice is hereby given that the Saugus Board of Selectmen will conduct a public hearing on the request of Meat Barbecue, doing business as K-Town Barbecue, 910 Broadway, Suite A, Saugus, Mass., for a change in officers/directors and stock interests associated with its wine and malt with cordials liquors license. This public hearing will be held in the Saugus Town Hall Auditorium, 2nd floor, 298 Central Street, Saugus, Mass., on March 4th, 2025, at 7:05 p.m. Hi, good evening. I know that you, yes, if you could please come to the podium, and if you could please give your name and address. Thank you.
Hi, good evening, Madam Chair and member of the board. My name is Ka-Young Wong from Sassoon Senior Law LLC at 84 State Street, Boston. I represent Meat BBQ Inc., the applicant. This is an application for new directors and officers and new stock shareholders. Basically, one of the 3 original shareholders is selling all his interest to a new individual, and one of the other 3 shareholders is selling part of his interest to another individual. Both new shareholders are U.S. citizens, and there's no change in the operation of the restaurants. So, any questions?
So the manager isn't going to change, and you just said there's no change in operations.
Correct.
Very good. Do board members have any questions? Any questions?
No, also.
Thank you.
Thank you.
This is a public hearing. Is there anybody in the audience who'd like to speak either in favor or opposed to this application? Seeing none, would somebody please make a motion to close the public hearing?
Madam Chair,
Selectman Ciccolini,
I'll make a motion that close the public hearing.
and that is seconded by the chair. Is there further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor of Selectman Ciccolini's motion, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries 4-0. Selectman Ciccolini.
Yes, Madam Chair, I'll make a motion that we grant the request of Meat Barbecue, doing business as K-Town Barbecue, 910 Broadway, Suite A, in Saugus, for the change in their officers, directors, and stock interests associated with the wine and malt with cordials and liqueurs license, as noted, but no change in manager.
And that's seconded by the chair. Is there further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor of Selectman Chicalini's motion, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries 4-0. Thank you very much for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It is now time for our 7:10 public hearing. Notice is hereby given that the Saugus Board of Selectmen will conduct a public hearing on the request of Tatum J. 600 Broadway, Linfield, Mass. 01940, for a fortune teller's license to operate psychic shop readings to be located at 144 Broadway, Saugus, Mass. 01906. This public hearing will be held in the Saugus Town Hall Auditorium, second floor, 298 Central Street, Saugus, Mass. On March 4th, 2025 at 7:10 p.m. Would you please come to the podium? And if you could please give your name and address and tell us a little bit about your business, please.
Excuse my scratchy voice. My name is Tatum Jace. I live at 600 Broadway, Linfield, Mass. 01940. I currently have and have been operating a psychic shop in Linfield for over 20 years. My operating hours would be 11 to 7. I would be doing palm reading, card readings. It's by appointment only. And whatever other questions you have.
And so 11 a.m. to 7 p.m., 7 days a week.
I'll be closed on Sunday. I apologize.
I'm sorry?
I'll be closed on Sundays.
Oh,
I
closed
apologize.
on Sunday. And I thought it was an interesting fact about your grandmother.
My grandmother is Stella Davis. She's the original psychic. She's been here for 60 years. The first time she ever had a license, it was $2. It stayed that price for 20 years, and she's one of the original psychics.
Thank you for that. Do board members have any questions?
No, I'm all set.
Any questions? This is a public hearing. Is there anyone in the audience who'd like to speak either in favor or opposed to this application? Seeing none, would somebody please make a motion to close the public hearing?
So moved, Madam Chairman.
And that is seconded by the chair. Is there further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor of Selectman Cogliano's motion, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries 4-0. Selectman Cogliano.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. I make a motion to approve the request of Tatum Jace, 600 Broadway, Linfield, Mass. 01940, for a fortune teller's license to operate psychic shop readings to be located at 144 Broadway, Saugus, Mass. 01906. Hours of operation Monday through Saturday, 11 a.m. to 7 p.m.
Thank you.
And the only recommendation I saw was just a life safety walkthrough from the fire department. So, and that is seconded by the chair. Is there further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor of Selectman Cogliano's motion, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 4-0. Thank you very much and good luck.
Good luck.
I'm so used to saying 5-0.
Madam Chair,
Selectman Chicalini.
it's a couple minutes before our next scheduled hearing, so I wonder if we should, I'll make a motion that we take the approval of the minutes out of order.
Sure. And that's seconded by the chair. Is there further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor of Selectman Chicalini's motion, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 4-0. So we'll take February 4th, 6 p.m. meeting minutes. Would somebody like to make a motion to approve those minutes?
So moved, Madam Chair.
Seconded by the chair. Is there any discussion? Changes? Seeing none. All those in favor of Selectman Riley's motion, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 4-0. We next have the February 6th, 2025 executive session minutes. Would somebody please make a motion to approve?
So moved, Madam Chair.
And that is seconded by the chair. Is there further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor of Selectman Riley's motion, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 4-0. Thank you very much. So it's now 7:14.
You want to give the town manager a minute?
You want a whole minute, Mr. Town Manager?
Sure, I only have one important announcement, an update tonight. Pretty important, so everybody should listen up.
Wait, we need to make a motion to take
Trying to
you
get
out of
the-
order. Hold on.
Oh, okay.
So moved, Madam
Yeah.
Jeez.
Second by the chair. All those in favor of Selectman Cogliano's motion to take Town Manager's report out of order indicate by saying aye.
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 All right. Go.
Yeah, Mr. Vogel is listening very carefully. So, and we'll have more information coming out, but the water meter replacement program, that will be starting, residents will be getting postcards in the mail very shortly this month. So I think what we want to do is make sure that everybody knows that this is a mandatory situation where the town is replacing the water meters and bringing, new technology, software and all that. And that'll start, the residents and businesses will be receiving postcards from Mass Installation Incorporated. That's one of the vendor that we've engaged and contracted with to do the replacements for us. And then they'll be working along with the town, and they'll be working to do a schedule, and they'll be scheduling these by appointment. Either by phone, the resident can call and make an appointment, or they have a website. This Mass Installation Incorporated has a website, and the residents will be able to go on and actually schedule an appointment online to have their meter replaced. And what we're replacing, just to remind them, is with these AMI systems, and which means that the readings will be sent to Town Hall regularly, no more of where we have to drive by and then you don't even know that you've had a leak and all those issues. So, and the great part of this platform and software that the residents will be able to do is they'll be able to register in a customer portal so that they can monitor their own water and also set their own alerts. So if they have a high use of water, they'll actually get an alert. And so that they would know that there's something going on, or they have a leak or something, a pipe burst. And it'll monitor all the usage anytime, and they can receive alerts, so they can go on and look at it, the historical data. They'll know when things increased, when it decreased. It's such a great asset that we're going to have, and that'll, I think, help the residents monitor their water usage, so that we don't have, like, at the end of the 6 months, they were in Florida and, all of a sudden their water bill is through the roof. So I think this will be very helpful. So we're going to have some information coming out in the next week or so, and it will be on our website as well, and we'll try to do as much informational things in every meeting. We'll try to talk about it so that people are aware of that. But they'll be getting a postcard, and this is something that's mandatory to have the replacement of their water meter, businesses and residents. So.
Are you starting in any particular part of town? Is this start with?
No, I think that everybody will get a postcard, and then it's a matter of scheduling appointments, my understanding.
So everybody, the whole town all at once?
What's that?
So the whole town all at once will get the postcard at the same time?
I think they'll be putting them out, yeah. I don't know exactly if everybody's going to get them on the same day, but the scheduling-wise, they're not going to be able to replace them in the same day. They have to, there's going to be time slots that people can make appointments and schedule out, just like if you were making an appointment to go to the dentist or whatever. They'll have, different times that they can come there, and it'll be whatever's convenient for the resident. So be on the lookout.
Do board members have any questions for the town manager?
Okay, great.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Town Manager. We will move on then to our hearings.
Yeah.
Notice is hereby given that the Saugus Board of Selectmen will conduct a public hearing on the request of Raising Cane's Restaurant LLC, doing business as Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers, 799-799R Broadway, Saugus, Mass., for a common victualer's license and entertainment license to operate Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers, 799-799R Broadway, Saugus, Mass. George Nickley Family Trust, Rebecca Properties LLC, and Timothy Grant, 821 Broadway, Saugus, Mass., owners, and Amy Sawyer, manager. This hearing will be held in the Saugus Town Hall Auditorium, second floor, 298 Broadway, 298 Central Street, Saugus, Mass., on March 4th, 2025 at 7:15 p.m. Hi, good evening.
Good evening, Madam Chairlady, members of the board, good evening. For the record, Attorney Richard Magnan with an office at 194 Central Street here in Saugus, representing Raising Cane's on this application for a common victualer's license and an entertainment license. The package included parking plans, the building plan, also indicated a summary of the business as was requested, and I believe a menu should have been in with the package that you had. With me this evening is Director of Property Development, Adam Carici, and Property Manager Sarah Holmes, who flew in from Texas or thereabouts. So they've been overseeing the project from the beginning. It's been some challenging moments there, but they are now ready to go forward. And as part of that, and as part of the drive-through permit that this board granted a while ago, they were to come back on conditions regarding their operation of the business in terms of days and hours of operation. So the original application also requested, and it was talked about at the special permit hearing, about having hours up to 3:30 on Friday and Saturday, I believe it. But that was not advertised, but the applicant does not wish to pursue that application at this time. So the days and hours of operation would be Sunday through Thursday, Sunday through, would be every day, 10 a.m. to 1 a.m. In addition, the applicant mentions that there would be approximately approximately 20 employees are anticipated. The seating accommodations would be for 48 people inside and 24 people outside. Beyond that, there's nothing special about the application. And certainly, we're here to answer any questions the board might have regarding this. Excuse me, I will mention on the entertainment, that would be piped-in music in the patio area and by the drive-through window orders. So that's soft music would be the only entertainment.
Okay, so is it the application says one TV, so is it one TV and piped-in music? Oh, I thought it was a TV.
Adam Karachi, Director of Property Development for Raising Cane's. There's music throughout the restaurant and the patio. There's display monitors with the menu at the cash wrap, but there's no live television or anything like that.
Thank you. And just a question on the hours. So you're looking now for 7 days a week, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Is the 1 p.m., are you going to have people in the store until 1 p.m., or is it going to close inside at a certain time and the drive-through is going to be open till 1 p.m.?
10 a.m. to 1 a.m. the following morning.
For both the inside and outside?
The drive-through and the dining room.
Okay, because we did give you a special permit back last year about this time, and your hours of operation for the drive-through were actually, we gave you extended hours. So I guess you're just not going to use the hours that we gave you. You'll just cut back.
At this point, the hours would probably match other Massachusetts restaurants, which are 12 a.m. Sunday through Thursday and 1 a.m. Friday through Saturday. If it pleases the board, we could do those hours with a special permit and just have some flexibility there if it's warranted, so we don't need to come back necessarily. Or we'd be happy with 1 a.m.
Well, 1 a.m. is fine. I was just curious of what you ultimately was looking for. That's all.
Correct.
Thank you.
Yep.
Madam Chair.
Selectman Chiclini.
Through you, honestly, I think it might behoove you to go with what we approved on the special permit, and if you use it, you use it, and if you don't, you don't. But why would you want to have to reapply and, go through the whole process all over again? You had 10 a.m. to 1:30 a.m. Monday through Thursday, and Saturday and Sunday, 10 a.m. to 2 a.m.
Okay.
I know what this restaurant's going to draw, and if it's half as busy as the one in Boston, it's gonna be a home run. And so I'd rather see you not have to go through the aggravation again And then, like I said, if right away staffing's an issue, whatever, that's everywhere. You don't have to use it necessarily.
Okay, perfect, yeah, we can.
And I
mirror the
definitely
special
feel more
permit.
comfortable with 2:30 or 2 o'clock than I do with 3 or 3:30 anyway at this time. See how things go from there.
Agreed. Yes, thank you.
Any other comments made from board members?
Madam Chair, one other thing I wanted to ask about. If this restaurant happens to take off the way we think, I think back to when Sonic opened up in Peabody or what have you, there may be a need for some type of police detail. So I would ask that you, as part of the motion tonight, I would ask that you work with the police department to see if there is, at least start with the police detail, because I feel like the grand opening is going to be pretty intense, and we just want to make sure that for public safety and traffic flow and things of that nature, you know, it would be in the town's safety best interest, but also in the restaurants as well from a liability perspective.
Absolutely, and we actually met with Mass DOT, Mass State Police, and Saugus Police today at 2:30 this afternoon, so we've started putting together that plan.
Fantastic.
We'll have Mass State Police on Route 1 and Saugus Police in the parking lot, helping to keep traffic within our site and not going onto the neighboring sites, and keeping people moving so they're not blocking traffic.
Excellent.
Madam Chairman?
Mr.
Yeah,
Town
and
Manager?
just to that point, you know, we met with them early on, myself, the town departments, and, you know, they did do some modifications, because I think, like Selectman Ciccolini's talking about, it's going to be, I think, pretty popular. And, you know, you don't want to discourage vision, but it was a tough site for them to sort of develop their signature establishment and building and be able to have the drive-through, but they did make modifications and took that stuff into account so that, you know, there's a dual lane for the queuing, and that there's, you know, they moved the building a little bit so that there's room for people to park, but also to back up traffic. But I can imagine that, and I think that's a good suggestion about the detail. I can imagine that's going to be a lot of popularity. This is like, you know, there's other restaurants that do the same thing, and I think that people are going to be pretty busy for a restaurant. So I think that that's a good idea. But know that we did what we could, and they did modify as much as they could with that site.
Thank you. Will you be having deliveries?
I'm sorry?
Will you be doing deliveries?
No, we do not have delivery.
And one last question, and I'm going to ask you, Selectman Ciccolini, because we're changing hours again. If we go forward with through 1:30, Monday through Thursday, and Friday, Saturday, and Sunday till 2 a.m., he wanted to keep his business open inside till 1, and then the extra hour would be for drive-through. Is that where we're going with this? Or did you was the full intent to keep the restaurant open till 2 a.m. as well?
I was just going to keep them both.
We can do both, yep.
But it's up to the applicant.
I was just trying to figure out what the intent was.
Yeah, I suggest we do both, and then if we need to tailor it back, we can.
Are there further,
Chili's was always open till 2.
are there further questions from board members?
No, I'm all set.
Madam Chair?
Yes.
One other thing I just wanted to clarify, if they're going to be open till 2 a.m., I'd like to suggest that you shut the sound off, though, outside on the patio at 1 a.m.
Okay.
Is that okay? I don't know
Yes.
if the fellow board members, if you have any input, but I just think it's probably good to cut the sound down. There's not many homes around there, but just to be cognizant of the surroundings. Do you think 1 a.m.'s good?
Fine.
Yeah.
We can do that.
Inside's fine, but outside.
I know that some of the restaurants, they'll close inside early, and then they keep the drive-through going for a while, which was the reason why I wanted to understand where we were going. Okay, with that said, any other comments? Seeing none, this is a public hearing. Is there anyone in the audience who'd like to speak either in favor or opposed to this application? Seeing none, would somebody please make a motion to close the public hearing?
Madam Chair,
Selectman Chicalini?
I'll make a motion that we close the public hearing.
And that's seconded by the chair. Is there further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor of Selectman Chicalini's motion, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 4-0. Selectman Chicalini.
Madam Chair, I'll make a motion that we grant the request of Raising Cane's Restaurants LLC, doing business Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers, 799 R Broadway, Saugus, for their common victuals license and entertainment license to operate Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers, 799 R Broadway in Saugus. The hours of operation for both inside and for the drive-through will be Monday through Thursday, 10 a.m. to 1:30 a.m., Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, 10 a.m. to 2 a.m. All external music will cease at 1 a.m. each day. 48 seats inside, 24 seats out on the patio. This will be subject to 3 inspections per calendar year for the Board of Health. They mentioned they would have 20 employees, and the only entertainment is the piped-in music. No televisions and no bands or DJs or anything of that nature.
And that's seconded by the chair. Is there further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor of Selectman Chicalini's motion, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 4-0. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Good
Thank you
luck.
very
Welcome
much.
to town.
Good luck.
Oh, Madam Chair,
Selectman Chicalini.
one thing, Rick, do you have an opening date that you are planning on? April 15th.
Wow, that's
Tax
great.
day.
Excellent.
This is our last public hearing of the evening. Notice is hereby given that the Saugus Board of Selectmen will conduct a public hearing on the request of Heiser, Inc., doing business as Istanbul Diner, 168 Broadway, Saugus, Mass., for a common victuals license and entertainment license to operate Istanbul Diner, 168 Broadway, Saugus, Mass. Suleiman Ozgen, 35 Linden Terrace, Lynn, Mass., owner, and Suleiman Ozgen, manager. This hearing will be held in the Saugus Town Hall Auditorium, second floor, 298 Central Street, Saugus, Mass., on March 4th, 2025, at 7:20 p.m. Hi. If you could please come up to the podium and give your name and address, please. Thank you.
Hi, good evening. My name is Süleyman Azgın. My home address 35 Linden Terrace, Lynn, Mass. And new business address 168 Broadway, Saugus. And it's going to be Istanbul Diner. It's going to be Turkish and Mediterranean restaurants. Any question? I'm ready. Your honors.
So I just want to mention something and ask a question. The first thing I'd like to mention is that on the original license, when this applicant was Chicken More, there were 39 seats, and I did reach out to our building inspector, Mike Lavecchia, today, who went down to the establishment, and he did count the number of spaces, and he said that 50 seats would be fine. So we could vote on the 50 seats this evening. And my question to you is, can you explain a little bit, you're changing, you were Chicken More, now you're going to be changing to the Istanbul Diner. Can you talk a little bit about how the food is going to change? A little. I know you do have other restaurants. So.
Yes, actually, a lot of chicken places. Everybody telling me in the Route 1, and now finally the Cane's is coming. They are a big company, and I be honestly, they do better chicken than I do. So what we know the best, we're gonna turn everything is Turkish restaurants. We left them chicken who know the best. So we take all the Turkish foods. In our restaurant, we're gonna give some kind of Turkish cultures and Turkish spice, and we basically wanna show our culture to whoever wanna come visit.
Great. And so the hours you're looking for are 8 a.m. to 12 a.m. 7 days a week?
Yes, right now, if something in the future, I definitely like to come here to ask again.
Very good. Do board members have any questions?
Well said.
Seeing none, this is a public hearing. Is there anyone in the audience who'd like to speak either in favor or opposed to this application? Seeing none, would somebody please make a motion to close the public hearing?
So moved, Madam Chairman.
And that is seconded by the chair. Is there further discussion? Seeing none. All those in favor of Selectman Cogliano's motion, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 4-0. Selectman Cogliano.
Madam Chairman, I'll make a motion to approve the request of Hazir Inc., doing business as Istanbul Diner, 168 Broadway, Saugus, Mass., for a common victuals license and entertainment license to operate Istanbul Diner, 168 Broadway, Saugus, Mass. Suleiman Ozgen, 35 Linden Terrace, Lynn, Mass., owner, and Suleiman Ozgen, manager. Hours of operation, again, Madam Chairman,
8 a.m. to 12 a.m.
8 a.m. to 12 a.m., 7 days a week.
Yes, sir.
Could we also add, Selectman Cogliano, 50 seats and 2 TVs?
Very good.
And the only other thing that I saw with the recommendations is the Board of Health regulations to be inspected 4 times a year. Is that okay to add? Okay. That is seconded by the chair. Is there further discussion? Seeing none. All those in favor of Selectman Cogliano's motion, please indicate by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries 4-0.
Best of
Thank
luck.
you. Have a
Thanks so
good,
much.
Good luck.
good night. Good luck to you.
Appreciate that, thank you.
It's time for our second citizens' comments of the evening. Is there anyone in the audience who'd like to address the board? Seeing none. Members' comments. Selectman Riley, would you like to begin, please?
Sure. Thank you, Madam Chairman. I just have a few announcements. The Veterans Council is in the process of planning for the Memorial Day Parade. This year, it's on Saturday, May 24th. If anyone is interested in a float or marching in the parade, please contact the Saugus Veterans Council. This Saturday, March 8th, at the Middle School, High School complex, the Daughters of the American Revolution is having a community event welcoming a past resident of Saugus, speaking on her inspiring journey of survival and her mission in helping others. The event begins at 11 a.m. And last, the Saugus 411 is just days away now, March 15th. We have secured 30 tables of nonprofit organizations, from places of worship to town departments. The selectmen will have a table for government information, and other clubs and youth organizations, and it's really starting to really grow. So even though this is for newly moved-in residents, it's for everybody. And I would urge everyone to come and see what Saugus has to offer, and you know, maybe even invite a neighbor that is near you that hasn't been here that long, to bring them to the middle school, high school. So it will be on March 15th from 9 a.m. until noontime, and we hope to see a lot of people there. So thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Selectman Riley. Selectman Cogliano?
Thank you, Madam Chairman. I'm all set tonight.
Thank you. Selectman Vice Chair Ciccolini?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I just want to confirm with the board that I'd like to have 2 of our local wrestlers in for recognition. Anna Felicio, she's a Saugus High senior. She actually won the state Division I state championship at 107 pounds for D1. And I'd also like to have Max LaRusso. He placed as an alternate, but he has a storied wrestling career with PVD Saugus Wrestling. So I'd like to, I can coordinate with the parents to see what timelines would work to have them in, but I just want to make sure that it would be all right to have them in.
Sure.
for-
Do you want to make that in the form of a motion?
Yes, please.
Sure, and that's seconded by the chair. Is there further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor of bringing those 2 individuals in, from Selectman Vice Chair Ciccolini, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 4-0. Thank you for that.
I'd also like to pass along my thanks to the town manager and his team. We had some unfortunate events of dumping and around the town, a couple locations, and the DPW guys, being as good as they are, jumped right on it once town manager made them aware of it, and got it cleaned up. And I appreciate their punctuality and diligence in trying to make the town look nice. And it's unfortunate, you know, not only did they dump a mattress, but they dumped it in a cemetery, which is, you know, really a little equally, even more rude,
Yeah.
given what it stands for, but.
The good news is that, and I appreciate that, and I'm sure they do too, good news is the different departments working together with police and trash and recycling with DPW. You know, they're all over that stuff as soon as it gets reported, so.
And I know you passed it along to the police, and they can
Yep.
check and see what we
Yep.
have on cameras and stuff to see if we can figure out who's doing it. So, but thank you to them
You're
for a
welcome.
great job. That's all I have, Madam Chair. Thank you.
Thank you, Selectman Chicalini. I want to congratulate the Cultural Council. They had their first annual festival last weekend, and I think they did a phenomenal job. They had quite a few residents and other folks come in, and just kudos to everyone involved with that. Our Student Government Day is going to start again. The last one that we had was back in 2019. It will be on May 1st. It's going to be held here in the auditorium starting. I'm working with Trish Prizio, who used to be Trish Johnson. She and I are trying to coordinate the day, working with all of us, of course. And the first part of the meeting would be just, you know, I get together and ask any questions, and then we're going to have a mock selectmen meeting. And so the students will be sitting in our chairs, and we'll help them out. And hopefully we can get some other students to get up and ask questions. And then we'll have the school committee come up, and they'll have a mock meeting, and then town meeting. So it should be a lot of fun. The SBEC should be providing a lunch for the students. And it's nice just to bring that back, and it's more community involvement because they are tomorrow's leaders. And the last thing I want to quickly mention is that our next meeting is going to be held on March 18th, which is 2 weeks from today. Is there anything else anybody would like to add? With that said, would somebody please make a motion to adjourn? And that is seconded by the chair. All those in favor of Selectman Cogliano's motion, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Good evening, everyone. Our meeting is adjourned.